So then the darkness came around the room like a banner. And once it got to about the center of the room, the lights got dimmer and it got really dark in the room. And after that, I could see 6 people at least, or figures, standing up in front of me that were coming to my face. And they came up to me and they leaned in and leaned in. And when they got this close, grabbed the blankets and started holding my hands. I could feel a pressure even on me, like there was actually people there, and screaming. When I was a kid, my parents never, my mother, my dad had died, so my mom had never heard the cry. So what's going on? Am I getting hacked? Am I getting hacked? I don't know. It's a little weird. It's a little weird, guys. It's a little weird. Maybe Bruce has so many secrets and he's in his big hack ring, and now he's been found. No, that'd be too cool, though, eh? You know, number one, you a Russian hacker. Remember him? The Russian hacker. Tracy, let's do this again. Stick around for a little while. So we got cut off. We're talking about a whole bunch of cool things. Unfortunately, now there's going to be a third live stream on my channel, which I will not get any views on for a while, because 3 live streams is going to be like no interest. So, and on Social Blade, I couldn't even turn the live stream off, guys. I'm getting used to it by now, though. Oop, it's going to lag again. Just want to see on Social Blade if they still rate 800 views since this morning. Yeah, and guys can check out the Social Blade. 800 views this morning, they wrote, and that's what I'm at. 899 views. So all these streams will not be registered. Or maybe it'll appear. It does sometimes. Sometimes it does. I can't jump the gun too fast. If I jump the gun too fast, sometimes it's no good. Gonna grab a little nip wall. You got plenty of time. Might even be back down again, because that's what happens often. Let's get the fan going here. Let's get the fan going here. Feedback, Fred. Salut, mon frère. On a fermé le stream. We got cut off. I was just looking at the weather in Petawawa. It's going to be actually some rain tomorrow. That's too bad. But anyways, all of you out there at the base, big cheers. All you ambulance drivers, too, at the base, big cheers. As a matter of fact, Ace, didn't you say that you drove an ambulance? If you're in Petawawa and you drive an ambulance and you're in the military, I wonder where you could be. Actually, what would be the consequence for someone in the military that gets caught and goes to court for hacking someone online or trying to defame him and threaten his family? If I call that base, would I be able to try and locate the names of the drivers and maybe try to find out who is with? Anyways, I think he understands by now. He's going to have to catch on really fast. Hey, dude, I'm back. We are back in service. Right on. I'm back, Brian. I'm here, buddy. Adios. Ça fait un pouce de plus pour la chaîne. Absolument. Absolutely. We'll get a couple more hundreds of views on this one. And it's too bad we're doing a good conversation. We had a good conversation going. Merci, Adios. C'est habillé comme ça, Adios, là. Quand je vais dans les protestes au Québec, là, avec la face anonyme cachée dans le chapeau, là, avec le gros drapeau Trudeau. Comme que tu as dit toi-même, les drapeaux, des fois, ça ne fait pas grand-chose. C'est de garder notre liberté. Et oui, on vit dans une société complètement foutue ou fichue ou un peu extrême. Hi, His Highness. Oh no, gone again already? I'm back. I'm back to stay for a little while. I'm back, Leah. Hey, Barb. Thanks, Barb Weast. And thanks, you said you believe that, Barb. Yeah. I've heard so many stories from people around me. And when people tell me that they saw the shadows moving and stuff like that, I always try to have a friendly conversation with them to tell them, listen, I had some weird experience happen in my end too. All of my life, I've had these experiences happening. And, you know, not everybody has a connection with the other side. Portals remain open. Somebody mentioned before, and I believe it. I had one open. I can confirm it. But again, I asked God to be a portal. What was that? I asked God to be a portal for my father because I wanted my father to be able to come back and see me. So here, an 11-year-old asking God if, maybe it wasn't God that I reached. It was someone that I reached. A portal definitely opened. Yes, it is. The sixth coming, actually. 6 month, 6 day. Why does it flash when I say 6? I got the little, some ghost hackers, I think, are trolling me. Yeah, 6 is a big number for sure. Hey, Stig, well, things are flashing, guys. We're probably going to go off again. But if we do, I'll be back on. And we'll take this one down. Stig R. Larson, thanks again, you guys and gals, for taking the time to become a member. And for everyone here coming to contribute by commenting, by coming by to say hi. You're really helping the channel. It helps the algorithm. You help a lot if you just come by and thumbs up the videos. You appreciate them. I really appreciate that. Yes, and numerology, I get it. You're absolutely right. I know a little bit about numerology too. Quite a bit, actually. My mother knew a lot about numerology too. And yeah, always been fascinated by, ever since I was young, secret societies. I could see things in different ways than other people could see them. I could tell that only by thinking back now. Like when I started my photography, a very unique way of doing photography. I'd love to show you guys sometimes, maybe once in a while, 2 or 3 images. I have an accumulation of many thousands of beautiful images of nature that I took that were macro images of getting into beehives, videos of ice melting and stuff like that. I was so into, in a way, I was really into sort of the science part of it all, but I never really did anything in science. And then seeing UFOs, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have to study science. It wasn't funny because I would have preferred just showing my UFOs instead of learning about science. But then I fell in love with Nikola Tesla, literally fell in love with his, everything that represented him is curiosity about space, speaking in space, how the earth could be, well, you guys know, right? The earth, we could use the earth for our energy as a weapon also to defend ourselves. We could have a force field up around earth, instantaneously up and down. Nikola Tesla would have built the machine in seconds, but they took his patents. And that's why we're looking at HAARP and CERN today. I believe HAARP and CERN is based on what Tesla found, obviously, odds and ends from Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein, but that they took it for evil and they used it to do other things. Instead of using that power to protect Earth, they're using that power to hurt other people on Earth. The same thing they did when Albert Einstein, they wanted his, Germany wanted him. He was a weapon, Albert Einstein, right? So it wasn't a very good thing. And it was not long after Albert Einstein talked to the Americans about atomic and nuclear energy. And after his famous equation of E equals MC squared, which a lot of you people say was wrong. Yes, but no, in reality, it was wrong off like a couple hairlines. But because of his equation, people were able to use that equation like it was just and a fact. And then they were able to compare, like the atomic bomb, that they had overthrown their reach. But they knew right away, right then and there, and after all the testing, like I said in the last stream, they tested on Americans incredibly with the radiation and stuff. They got no compensation for that, the Americans. So the ones that I'm talking about didn't get compensation. So many of them too. They even said there was possibly more tests on American soldiers than the amount of people that were killed with the bomb. So Stigar Larson, thanks again, bro. Lise Lulund Rodek. Comment ça va? Rodek. Welcome back, Bruce. Thank you. Light being like you cannot be shadowed. See, yeah, that it's totally odd, eh? Yeah. And Aliaus, c'était foncé. C'était dans une chambre noire, was in a black room, but the room got blacker. And I said that to my mother hundreds of times. It was a darkness that became darker and vibrant. So the darkness was like the darkness in a cartoon. It was very pixelated and there was no light whatsoever. But those beings had a black shape. And you know what, guys? The reason why they had a complete black silhouette over them is a camouflage. I believe this. If it is secret projects and stuff, and there are other dimensions and bad beings, those aliens that people talk about, some of you talk to me about that are bad, could it not be them that are appearing to people that are vulnerable, or that a death in a family, maybe something happens when a family member dies, you're thinking of the whole process, what just happened to your kid, your dad as a kid, like holy shit, he's dead. Hold on, okay, well, where is he? Like, where does he go after that? And is he in pain? A kid thinks about all this after, and you start wondering. If you wonder too much, sometimes you can open a portal. I do believe it has to do with the person's energy, not knowing what or why there's a distribution of energy. But I've had problems with electrical devices, lights, all my life. And I guarantee you 99% of the people say that, and it's a bunch of bullshit, but maybe not that much bullshit. Because if somebody tells me that they're popping lights and I have that thing that I can do, yes, I can pop them, and I can pop them in front of you. I've done it to many people, then to my brother. Things happen that are out of the normal. I could talk about something, saying sometimes things float around me. If there are friends in the room around me, what probably for years why I haven't had friends, I mean, physical friends. I'm in meditation. It's my 7th year starting, and I've been here, and I lived with my son, and now my son is gone. It's been a couple of years. I'm in deep meditation to find myself and to find out the truth, and I'm going to continue doing that. I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys coming by here and joking and laughing or whatnot. And even some of the trolls, got to appreciate them. Keeps me busy, keeps me on my feet. But I wanted to come on YouTube when I started this at the beginning, even before I was seeing UFOs. Well, I was seeing them, but before I decided to film them and show you, I was seeing all these things a lot. And I said, imagine filming that, though, and showing people what I'm seeing in the sky and showing them the UFOs that I'm filming and stuff. I was sure in a matter of a week, I was going to be able to completely have 100,000 people on the channel saying, Bruce, where are you? Going to go a bit further and say I even cleaned my floors and walls in case CBC stops by, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's a truth. You saw the truth on the moon. I was in tears. I asked any one of you that if you see that video of me in tears at the beginning, the first time, I've never found it. I was really moved. Guys, there's something on the moon, and I was really, really excited. And nothing happened. Nothing happened. The more I talked about it, the less people were interested in it. And I'm never, ever talking about you guys. I mean, it's insulting if you're here 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a day, like some of you are, but the comments are no more, right? You see it yourself. There's no more comments. Some of you used to love coming here to read the comments because there was a lot of comments. So when the stream stopped, the comments take a couple of hours before getting views, which they shouldn't, because they should be recommended to other people outside of my community, when you think of it. Nelson Aniceto, thank you so much for the generous contributions, you guys. I love you so much for it. That really means a lot, you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sammy M is back. Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah, I got a couple of those. Exactly. Hey, Kasar Kamasavo. Hello. Thanks for being here. Love that Canadian flag, my friend. Fly it with pride. Peter, thanks, man. I used to get sleep paralysis. I heard of a few, even in my family, there's a couple that had it. or one that had it. When I was in a bad relationship, most likely have to do with stress, I guess. Haven't had an incident for 4 years now. That's awesome. You stay with the one you're with. Sometimes we get the right one. Sometimes we fall in love and we get just the right person, right? Love's not the same when we're younger as the love when we're older. When we're younger, we want the love. Oh, don't get me wrong. Love can last all your life, but we're not looking for the same thing when we're younger. I was an old man when I was young. I was looking to be a couple, relationship, have a kid, the picket fence, straight up, simple living, and take two, take three. That's how life is. Thanks again, Peter. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, sleep paralysis. Well, you see, stress is a very big player in all of our lives. Like my eye problem, or you never know. Sometimes it could be stress. Sometimes it could be laughing too much at the trolls. Maybe because I'm always going, I get these. No, I'm kidding. You never know what it is. Thank you, Stuart Clayton. It's great to have you back, brother. Thanks again, Peter. Thanks, guys. More than likely, it takes them a little time to shut everyone down since we're spaced pretty far out. Yes, there was lots of people here before the other streams. Too bad. Question. Hello, Gabber Beast. Bruce, did you capture the 10,000 meteors an hour? Poured rain here, brother. The empty sky, absolutely nothing. Rained, wind. It's like it was deliberate. I would have freaking loved to it. And again, 2 days before, I filmed UFOs for 2 days, and I filmed like 10, 20, 30 UFOs easily, and then nothing because the sky is clouded over like it is now. The sun is, again, day 2. Second time I see the sun today, and it's going down. So at the size it is, it was probably up a bit higher. I did not check when it rose. Thanks for asking, Gabber. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the thumbs up, friends. It helps the algorithm. Sharon Desnay, how's it going? Good evening. Ottawa in the house. How's it going, Ottawa? I'm telling you, hey, Ottawa, you guys got a hell of a windstorm, electrical storm. I don't know if you guys saw that a couple of days ago. They got houses torn down and trees that fell down and everything in Ottawa. It's happening more and more in Quebec and Ontario, where we're getting hurricane-like winds at the last minute, where the wind really ramps itself up and then goes down, stops. It's absolutely crazy. I have some people that come to my channel sometimes and they ask me, Bruce, I lost a loved one. Is is what you're talking about real? Do you really see these shadows and stuff? Did your dad come back? You think maybe my kid would come back or something like that? Very, very emotional questions sometimes that people say. And I do believe that people come here will not necessarily say, Bruce, I believe you, but might turn around and say, well, holy crap, something similar happened to me. Maybe there's some truth to it, Damon, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much, Stuart Clayton. Thanks. I appreciate that, my friends. Really appreciate it. Who would not appreciate it? Because you guys keep coming back and telling me the same things and a lot of support. I mean, when I started, anybody that is depressed, I suggest to start a YouTube channel. Actually, never mind. Unless you're strong-minded. You got to be strong-minded. If you're strong-minded, you'll go through it. My biggest worry was getting my address exposed when I started this work. Then they exposed me. I'm at 1. They exposed me, and that was the big joke. So, okay, the stress is gone. Bring it on. The next step is coming to knock on my door. But they don't. Thanks again, you guys. Hey, Dwayne Ayers from Southern Indiana. Thank you so much. USA in the house. Rocks, as always. Cheers to the healthcare workers. Thank you very much, Tracy. I know quite a few of them myself. And there's one right here underneath. Double underneath you. Hi, guys. Sorry I'm late. Just grilled the best steak you're talking. Carnivore. Good for you. That sounds good. The black satellite orbits the North Pole and was found to be grounded to large cylindrical tubes. Interesting. 60 kilometers by 100 kilometers long that are on the bottom of the ocean in the sea in Alaska. BAAACK, the black satellite, stops the Earth. Oh, yeah? It orbits the North Pole, eh? I've never followed to know where it was, if it was being tracked in space. I know people have seen it go by, but grounded to large cylindrical tubes. Okay, so in other words, it would have been connected to in the bottom of the ocean. You mean like on tubes, not when it was flying. That's interesting. I did not know that, Gabber Beast. Thank you for sharing that, my brother. I did not know that. Thanks again, Beth. Digesting, Beth. And everyone disappeared. Nelson, thank you. All the names jumped everywhere. Bruce, your channel might end up being the reason I attempt to learn to speak French. I know I said that earlier. That's okay. You can say it all you want. You can say it again. And do come by the French channel, because I get a lot of English people to stop by the French channel once in a while. I am sorry for drifting off in French, though. That is rude of me. But I get French people to come by the channel here to say hi to everyone. We really are like a close-knit family, so that's really cool. Hope those kisses are for me, Darla. Thank you very much, Darla. And sorry I went off, mods. Stuart, that means a lot, bro. And sharing your moon videos, people love them. Thanks a lot, man. I believe one bouche à oreille, from mouth to ear, one person mentions it to one more person, and that person can mention it to one more person. Very interesting. Yeah, Damon, they came right to my house, bro, and they didn't tell me what the matter was. They said they wanted to know if I was in Ontario, if I went into Ontario, and they wanted to know where in Ontario that I would have gone. So I didn't go to Ontario. They wanted to know, if it was my car, if I had any weapons, if I lived alone, if I was married. They checked my address and the road, and they said, okay. And I'm like, what is this about? They didn't tell me. They did not tell me what it was about. It's the Sûreté du Québec that came by. No, actually, my videos appeared on his channel throughout many years, Damon. It's up to 4 or 5 years now. What he did is something happened. I love it. I watch Alex Jones, and I was Edward Snowden at that time. Anyways, I've been in contact with a lot of whistleblowers, real whistleblowers. I don't have to brag about it, but I've talked to a lot of them now, and I've had a little connection with some of them. And Alex Jones talked to me about Petawawa, and I'll leave it at that with some labs and stuff because we can't get into it. But Ace of Space must have been really offended, or thought maybe that I was talking about him without me knowing that he said he worked in the military, which I highly doubt, especially with his height. I'm sure they would have. Anyways, he could never get into the ambulance. So when I mentioned the Petawawa base, then I got an email by him. Bruce, my family's being attacked. My family's being harassed. My father's being harassed and attacked. And I said, I don't give a shit. Stop emailing me, you turd. And it finishes there like I always did. It was shit stain, actually, because that's his nickname. But when he emailed me, which he emails me daily, he said, you got to stop attacking me and stuff like that. Let's call a truce. I said, truce for what? Grow up, grow some balls, get a boyfriend, and get away from my channel and stop annoying me. I said, I'm going to do something, bro, that you're not going to like. And then he started getting scared. But then when I mentioned Petawawa, he emailed me. Okay, not necessarily because I mentioned Petawawa. I have no proof. But he said he was going to send a police officer to my house in a couple of days to watch for him. The police officer showed up. So if anybody wants to know, yes, Ace of Space, the threatening little cocksucker, did send police officers to my house, was proud to say it. I have the email exposed. It'll be all exposed in my documentary and book, along with what happened with John Lear and all the space channels that you all enjoy watching. They've all interacted with me, from Secure Team, Third Phase of Moon, all got in contact. They've all messaged Bruce Swartz, and that's my real name. Never hid it, which I should have. What I should have done when I started this is have stayed anonymous, and that way people would have been even more intrigued with the channel, right? The correlation is that I know that he's there now in Petawawa, Ontario. He's in Northern Ontario. Inside sources helping me now to locate the people that are harassing me. They're all going to get lawyers' letters, and they're all going to get knocks on the doors. I have police family members also. My police family members are not in the OPP. They're not in the Sûreté du Québec. They're a lot higher than that. A lot higher than that. I don't need to threaten people to scare them. A lot of you right now here have military, or maybe even on military phone lines that are checked. If ever you get hacked, the police goes directly, immediately to those people's places. So here's the correlation, Damon. Once Ace of Space got hacked, he assumed it was me, but it wasn't. Had nothing to do with it. He was sure. Well, send cops to his house. How can you send police to someone's house if there's nothing? All I had to tell the person was to come back with your warrant. And if you want to know if I have a gun, fuck off. Sorry, but it's the law. You don't go knocking on people's doors, asking them if they have guns. Right? We're not in the far west here. The hell's going on? Why would it? Well, it's easy. If Ace told a police officer that he said he was armed, right, which I didn't, he could very well say, oh, he has people, he talks about guns. He's like, no, and I've never talked about guns, ever. I started this week talking about guns because people want to gangsta style pop me. It's not a professional guy, eh? What's it? We're gonna pop you. Yeah, okay. He's got a YouTube page. The killer has a YouTube page, guys. subscribe, please. Who's my next killer? Half of us made it back anyway. Yes, Brian, thank you so much. Thanks, Sensi. Watching the show on the big stream today. Thank you very much. When your stream went out and it still hasn't come back on, I had to go to my phone. That's crazy, eh? Some do not come back. Yeah, exactly. Some don't come back. Some are maybe having problems coming back. Poor people. You never know with all the crap going on. Yeah, man, it is dark stuff. And I'm telling you, I'm not a dark person, eh? I'm a person that if I had a choice, I would make myself an angel of light, and I would respect what my higher holiness God wants me to do. But we're living in a world where people are pretty cutthroat right now, and get prepared, people, because God's coming down himself, and the energy he's going to be using will have both light and darkness, and God's going to show people how to use darkness in a real proper way, because that's what's going to happen. The devils are going to burn up. They're going to shrivel up like little uncircumcised peckers, and then they're going to imagine that one, and then they're going to shrivel up and melt like the wicked witch of the South in Wizard of Oz. Is it South? I don't know. But that's what's going to happen. I've always felt a presence beside me. It's never felt dark, but at the same time, man, schizo posting, those dark figures that were around my room were just camouflage, right? They didn't harm me, but I didn't like the way they bent over me. And when they bent over me, well, they put their shoulders together and it made a blanket over me. I was confused why there was no sound. It was like a dead sound, like my ears were bopping and like I wasn't even in my room. And then I came to a theory. Imagine if they were to beam you up on the ship. This is theory, guys, okay? And I'm only drinking coffee. Imagine they beam you up on the ship. You don't think that the only solution to beam someone up on the ship is to beam up the room around them? Where I believe higher beings understand light perfectly. And I also believe that the highest alien being, the smartest alien being, does everything with light. All beings have that understanding that light is used for defense, for energy, for destruction, for heat, for warmth. I mean, how can it not be used? They use natural elements. It's almost like what Tesla wanted to do, right? Use the earth to, like an auto defense, just have a force field up around earth that's protecting earth. Those are logical things. I've had so many visions and dreams since I was young, and back up every year of research. I never talked about any of this before end of 2019. I started vaguely talking about the shadows. 2020 more or less. In 2021, I talked pretty freely about some encounters, and I got about 20 or 30 encounters that I had, and I probably told you about 5 or 10. And it's scary stuff. It is scary stuff. Why did I look like a bloody demon in the image? I didn't like seeing that. It was my face, but I looked really mean, and I wasn't. I had my mouth open in the image. I was doing tests. I was doing a project with a bunch of different images. Anyways, I understand what I was doing, and I saw my face. Guys, I'm gonna have to find that picture. It's horrific. It's horrific. I could see, like I had a devil in me. Like, I mean, the face was there. And then when the bat appeared right after I took those 3 snapshots of the red faces. So the evening ended, 3 long exposure shots of devil faces, which weren't supposed to be devil faces. It was supposed to be me going like that with my arms out, okay, to make an incredible red light picture, long exposure. And what do I see? I see a cross in the corner, and I see a devil face, guys. I freaking I tripped over the tripod. The camera fell onto the couch. I hurried up to turn the lights on. I was flipping out. And when I turned on the light, I started setting up things. And I looked in the corner of the room, and the ceiling was dirty. In the corner was a black smudge. And then I started thinking, are those spiders? And then I went up to it. When I went up to it there, I see his friggin' ugly face with their eyes are here, eh? Little beady ears. Running up the stairs. 200 pounds. 200 pounds running away from a bat the size of a pencil. It was big. No, but I saw it like this big, just a bat. But it doesn't matter. It was disgusting. So then it starts hitting the light, and then I hear it knocking over a picture frame, and I run upstairs and tell my son, Frederick, close your door. I never give the same name. Close the door. There's a bat. And he closes his door. So then I run up. I said, open the door. Opens the door. When I close the door, I looked in my son's room. There was a bat. I thought there was another one in the room. I said, he couldn't have moved that fast. He followed me up the stairs. Big 200-pounder running up 13 stairs. I got 13 stairs here. Running up to the top of the stairs. It's like, oh, that's weird. That was before I had found out that there was actually a death here in the house, which my family had told me. They go, that's not supposed to be, because when there's a death in the house, usually they sell the house. They're supposed to mention that. And I go, well, that's really weird, because this house has a big metallic brass star in the front of it. and they built the deck over top of the star. So in the front of my house, underneath the construction of the deck, there's that big star that's there. So I have a star on my house. I did a lot of research too to find out why people had stars up on their house, and sort of freaked me out a little bit. And it's against a hex, against a curse. If anyone put up a curse on you, maybe I'll talk about that next stream, about curses and stuff. It's not something I like talking about. It's not something I'd ever try or do, because I got news for some of you. Not everybody has to follow a magic book to do a curse or to have energy. Someone that's very high energetic person will drain the people around them. And without knowing it, there's certain things that you can actually do to people that are dangerous that you don't know about. And I'm dead serious. You know, you could kill somebody by thinking of them too much, by sending energies and stuff. All the bad things, the witch doctors and voodoo, you know, Haiti, they have the voodoo, Nigeria, Uganda, all these places. It's real, right? You go to Uganda, you piss someone off, they go uba uba, that's it. You're screwed. It's very scary. It's a very scary thing. Voodoo is a religion, right? And it's not something I would screw around with. If you look up websites online, people do black magic online, and there's websites and stuff. You know, those are people you don't want to interact with, because it's people that are continually doing curses on people they hate. Could you imagine if Ace of Space became a sorcerer? I'd be full of pimples. I'd have rashes, sore backs, headaches, because he'd be sticking pins in my head in his voodoo doll, you know. I have a wooden one. You know what I did with the voodoo doll that I bought in a mystery shop that I thought was totally freaky in an auction? Anybody want a voodoo doll? Yeah. I'm so stupid. I gave that voodoo doll the rest of its life off. And I promised never to stick any nail in Ace's. I mean, never stick any nails in that voodoo doll. But I'm a fan of mysterious things, and I'm intrigued by old, mysterious, scary, spooky things. Think of it. I'm born in 1975. You know, Wolfman Jack. Oh, yeah. I listened to that. I listened to, what was that show where they used to do the Monster Mash? It was just a monster. And, you know, there was Vincent Price in that show. Oh, my goodness. I'm going way back. I remember Elvira. I was in love with Elvira, guys. Black hair. Remember Elvira? Anyways, black hair, black dress. Used to, you know, mystery. Used to love mystery. Houdini, way back when I was young, and thanks to my mom being able to go to Niagara Falls at the Houdini Museum in Niagara Falls a long time ago. Not that long after my dad had passed away. So all these things that I was finding out about, we had no internet to find out these things. The only way people were able to find out about anything dark was by buying a book, or by knowing a sorcerer, or by someone that was doing black magic. You know, I ventured, not in forums, but I wanted to know what Satanists were doing, and I wanted to know what all the hype was. And I think everyone and anyone would wonder what's being done. You know, there's a big misinterpretation of it, and rituals and stuff, and kids and all that. That is dark psychotic stuff. People often are Satanists that are doing it, they say. But honestly, if you do a thorough research in Satanism, which I've done, you're going to be like me. You're looking for all the morbid parts. You want to know, is it at church that they draw the star pentagon on, you know, the whatever on the ground, and communicate with the devil? I don't think that's the way it is. In movies, we see different representations of them and stuff like that. Am I telling you to become a Satanist? No. I don't know anything about it. But do I have to speak against them? No. Never had any Satanists speaking against me. Everyone thinks I'm a Satanist. They say I have a cross on my knee. I have a cross, and he said it was a jail tattoo. I thought it was really cute. A cross on my knee, and I have beads, and the beads are connected to a spider web. That was my representation of the secret of religion. I knew religion has always held a secret, and I have a big chain links on my left leg going down, 10 links that go down to my ankle, which I was going to tattoo shackles on my wrists, on my legs, on my ankles. But instead of doing that, I said, why would I make myself be a slave or become a prisoner? I believe that we're going to break away from that. You know, we're slaves with benefits. That's what we are. Slaves with benefits and weekends. That's, you know, sorry about the screw ups and the live streams tonight, guys. Can only imagine all the tech Uncle Sam built from the Tesla designs. It's exactly what happened, Brian. I agree with you, man. Which was likely intended for good, but it's being used mostly for evil because of the nature of demons who took it. Straight up, I agree with you exactly that. And the demons, what they did, the demons, they sugarcoated themselves. They took off their pointy ears and they put on suits and they became businessmen. And now the devils are hard to see, right? Unless you see those horns, right? Biden, you could see his horns. You could actually see them. But anyways. Michelle Adams, how's it going? Thanks for being here, my friends. A wizard is never late or early. He arrives precisely when he means to. Gandalf. That is true. I've even heard that saying. That is very true. So forgive me for being late for the stream sometimes. You know how I see myself, Beth? I see myself as an apprentice, but the people that are learning magic and power of God are not being taught it. I believe that if your soul and your mind and the good of your heart, heart has a lot to do with the body. Heart has a lot to do with the brain. They both have to be together for you to live. But you knew that. You knew that. If I rip out your heart, you're going to have a hard time remaining alive. But they're still finding body parts. A couple of years ago, right here, the cavity right there, there's a little cavern, a little secret cavern here, goes to the connected to the pineal gland, third eye, pineal gland, and they just discovered it. It's a look up when the last body part was discovered. You'll see all these dates in the 1800s and 1900s, and then it goes to 2020 with the new cavity part that they found here inside of the head that they had never seen before. Guaranteed, in the 1400s or 1500s, they took a body apart to completely know what it looked like. A long time ago. I'm not even close. I'm saying 1400. How many times did they continually repeat doing that to try to find out what the body looked like? As a matter of fact, in the end of the 1800s, beginning of the 1900s, they were actually testing to try to find the weight of a soul when a body dies by weighing the body before the person's death. The person had done this interesting, not morbid, I find it was a very interesting project. The person was dying. The person was willingly weighed before, which is not morbid or anything. And then after they passed away, he was on the scale. And as he died, if it's true or not, I have no idea. But a soul weighs about an ounce, if I'm not mistaken, or an ounce and a half. I could be wrong, but they said the weight of the soul or whatever left the body when somebody died. You know, some religions talk about reincarnation. Whether you believe in reincarnation or not, you know, it's something interesting to think about. Whether you believe in that a certain religion or not, you know. Sorry, guys. Sleeping in a tomb really gives me a sore neck. Thank you so much, Madel Socorro Carrillo Martinez. Muchas gracias por venir a mi canal de investigación. Muchas gracias, amigos. Bienvenido. I see you from Mexico. My English is short, but possible do for understand. Perfecto mundo. Perfeccione. Mucho bueno. ¿Hablo español, Bruce? Uno poquito. or poquito. So we understand each other. I get people from Mexico. Muchas gracias, bro. I get people come here from Mexico, and I love when they do that. They try to speak English, and you get a few words out. I understood everything he said. It's awesome. We can understand that. Mexicans speak more English than English speak Mexican. Well, I'm not talking about in the States, because you guys, if I'm not mistaken, at school, or maybe some of the older people than the younger generation, you guys had to learn Spanish, right? If I'm not mistaken. Here in Quebec, we had to learn French. So that's why I'm bilingual. But yeah, Spanish is an amazing... Padel Socorro, en un momento. Mi canal de investigación en español. Astronomia of Nice. I'm going to have to share I have a Spanish channel. Mi canal de investigación en español for you of Astronomia of Nice. That's me. I made Spanish videos so you guys can understand a little bit. And I have quite a few videos up there. You guys are going to really like it. It's in Spanish. I could share the link, but I'm sure somebody already did. Thanks again. Nelson, thanks again, bro. So true, Bruce. You could open a portal and push the ace down the hole. Yes. He's so small. That's nothing to do with anything. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, eh? You wonder why some people do what they do. If there's no reason to do it, it's because they're actually bad people just having fun. And you know what these people can never do, Lisa and everyone? These people, like Ace, can never, ever have a beautiful picture of them with their family, or show their children or grandchildren or family's grandchildren, because they have that mindset. The worst of it there, if Ace was posting his family members on his channel, I would never, ever grab the picture of his family members and insult his family because he's a jerk off. I would never do that. It's important not to do that. It's against the law to expose people's address. But you know what? It's not against the law. When somebody on their own channel in the comment section writes that they're from Petawawa, Ontario, you know, and it doesn't mean he's from there, like I said, but it's bothering him. He's changed names to Ace of Space. His real name, I don't even know, something Davis, but he never showed his real name. He changes his name. You know, there's also a video on his channel. If you scroll down to the last videos, I mean, it'll be funny. Go to his channel and leave him a comment. Are you from Petawawa? Are you from Ontario, Petawawa? I mean, they want to play with that. They're going to get harassed. They're going to get hacked. And that's what people do. Salut mon Bruce, bon vendredi. Danny, never. Thank you very much. Merci mon frère. Un grand merci, man. Bruce, as a kid, says Damon, I used to see dark shadows walking. Yeah, that's what I see, bro. My mother also sees it, especially more now that my mother started seeing it again in it. So, that's interesting. Okay, me, it wasn't on the wall at night in my bedroom. Well, yes, I could say it was on the wall because the band, I'm going to probably get shut off again. The band that turned around on the ceiling on top was coming around like it was a banner on the wall. And then the banner started going down, and then as darkness came in from the sides. It was a vibrant darkness, very, very. Can you say bright dark, vibrant dark? Like it was black, but it was a shiny black. It's like saying it wasn't. My room was a matte black when I went to bed, and when those things arrived, or that thing arrived, it was glossy black, very, very glossy. They scared me. They looked like they were just observing me. I didn't feel anything. I can't say if I felt something negative or not. I was scared as a child, having seen the shadows. But you know what scared me? Not seeing the shadows is that when I called Bruce, no, try again, Bruce. I'm Bruce, guys. When I called a mommy, because I was young enough, and there was no answer, then I tried to get up. I couldn't move. Most traumatizing feeling, guys. I could move my arms. I couldn't move the base and my hips, my legs. I wasn't sore. And I can't even say that I remember trying to get out of bed, because it would have been the simplest thing is to get up out of bed and open a freaking door and just turn on the light and, hey, guys, come in my room, guys. Check this shit out. What the hell's going on in the room there? You know? My mom didn't like the fact that that had happened. And of course, my poor mom, imagine all these experiences that I was having, encounters when I was young. Imagine my mother turning around and hearing a kid talk about shadows, and telling her that I went down to see my grandmother that lived downstairs, and I would go while I was in bed sleeping. She'd say, well, how the hell do you go downstairs? Didn't say how the hell. How do you go downstairs? I go down through my bed, and I go down on my back. And what I do is I would go down, and it was like this, guys. I was sleeping, and you know what? It wasn't me doing an astral travel. It was something making me do it. Anyways, it could have been me, but no, I didn't. I'm not a person that lies down and says, I'm going to the other side. I'm not a demon there, not an angel either. Well, sometimes I try to be an angel, but I'm not. Hopefully I'll get wings if ever I go up, but I don't think I'm going to be one of the 144,000 chosen, the overcomers. I looked at the list. What are the characteristics of the 144 virgins? I'm out. I'm out. I'm not going to be one of the overcomers. Abstinence, guys. Abstinence. Put your pecker in your pants. That's it's a big price to get into heaven. I'm telling you. Chastity. Remember back in the olden days, they used to have that chastity. Or was it chastity? Chastity suits. Napoleon. He put that on Josephine. I remember Josephine. Remember Napoleon? Actually, Ace of Spades could have been Napoleon in his other life. It's very, very short. He put the chastity belt on Josephine so that nobody would touch her while it was gone. So I think they should have had those chastity belts today. Make them modern looking. Gate Smasher appeared. Yes, Cheryl. I'm going to read that in 1 second because I'm not crazy. Let me go down here. Hey, Julie. Thank you, my dear friend. Gate Smasher, thank you very much. It was a contribution. And why does it not? There it is. I was worried for nothing. I put it up there. It says I got my information. I didn't pin that one. I pinned the one that says keep the realms and seek out the vibration. It should show up on the desktop here. I got my, first of all, thank you. Keep the relams and seek out the vibration of out you seek. Yes. Well, if it's that you mean, I was received. I'm pretty sure because we're pretty in tune, you and I, bro. I had the vibration coming that it wasn't me connecting; it was the other side connecting, and then at one point it was me, and I've never stopped vibrating. It's the continual vibration feeling, and it's also the feeling when I was doing the astral traveling, and when I was crossing over, um, like like you're on a train but there's no volume and the floor is bounce it's shaking like this all the time. It's shaking and shaking. It's what I felt. Very, very odd feelings. Has been a big part in history which is lost except to hunters and snipers. Thank you very much. Oh yes, mind speaking has been a big part in history. Listen, um it is creepy, Darla. There's a whole bunch of stuff creepy. Yes, fluoride in the drinking water. It's no good. That's why I don't drink the water. Actually, like my mom says, boil it, Darla. That's what she says. My mom is an old of the old school. Boil the water, no matter if even there's urine in it or shit. It's not going to kill you or affect you. And it's true. So when I make my coffee, um, I actually use bottled water now since it's so bloody expensive. It's almost like a $5 coffee when you use bottles of water. So I boil the water. That's what I started doing. Thanks, Gates Master, you guys. Thanks, Julie, for being here too. Did you guys have a good time in Florida? You guys were able to bring us to the Space Force. You were able to, me, I love seeing little bits of beautiful things when people go on trips and share them and stuff like that. But honestly, I wasn't jealous, but boy, I was so envious. I said, hey, that is awesome. She's right beside the space station. Wouldn't it be awesome? Me standing in front of the space station and walking in and actually asking them, to have a tour or to talk, or in other words, if I was in the States, I'm a presentable enough person, humble enough, polite enough to be able to go in there and to try to connect with someone to tell them, hey, have you ever seen my channel? Like, there's people up there, What do you think would happen if Bruce or any silly guy said there's a guy with a channel and he gets stuff on the moon, like for real? If you guys are going there and you want to see what's there, go see his channel. I would so love that. But I know for a fact that Julie mentioned me. I know it. Put my hand in the fire. I know they did. Which is cool. Just cool. Incroyable feedback, Fred. Incredible. C'est incroyable. Le nombre d'essais, bébés, naissants, États-Unis et mondial, ça a augmenté un pourcentage ridicule. Et oublie pas, toutes les maudits nombres sont cachés en plus. All those numbers are hidden. All numbers are hidden, people. Lizzie, how's it going? Lizzie Bell, that's a nice name. All in town water and extreme amounts of chlorine here. That too, literally smell the chlorine. Even starting the shower, you could smell that chlorine. And me, I have a drip in the shower. Not enough to be noisy for me to change it, but a little drip. And in that drip, it makes a dime or nickel sized light green dot. And if I was after a week, it makes about a quarter size or a loony's a Canadian dollar size, dark green spot, literally dark green spot. I want give me a second. Actually, I want to see something. I want to do a silly test. on the inside of the faucet. I'm losing my English, guys. And the inside of le robinet, the faucet. Rub the Kleenex inside like that as far as I could, guys. No, I didn't color it with a marker. I swear to you, it's actually the same color as Gate Smasher. See the green on it? That's fluoride. That's fluoride. I rubbed it on the inside of the shower thing, inside on the bottom where you drain it, take a bath. On the inside, all that green color, fluoride. They put that in the water. If not, the water would be probably full of shit worms and whatever, but still, it would be a lot healthier. Worms are a lot healthier probably than what they're doing. I'm surprised. I was able to literally get a green spot there. So he used paint. Thanks, Lizzie. It's a horrible experience. I do not recommend it. Well, it's a horrible experience. My experience was incredible, bro. Like, mostly, it was life-changing. What happened to me, guys, I saw a light the size of a basketball that was it was gold, liquid gold. Beautiful, beautiful, a beautiful ball of light, not on fire, excessively bright to the point where it looks like a sun. But imagine looking at it and not having this traumatized me, guys. Looking at that ball of light I went up to it. I had to stop going up to it because it smelt like rain. Okay. It smelt like eons in the air when that thing was in my house. It just so happens it was 1 foot beside the electrical box that was in the closet, which I had many years after understood that was right beside the electrical box. They need energy to appear. They're not going to appear. Ghost is not going to appear. And we say ghost, entity, right? Because we don't know what the hell, who, what, where they're from, other dimensions, whether they're here in essence, which always makes me laugh because God says he's going to be here in essence. Another thing, people don't understand those terms. What do they mean in essence? What does Stephen Greer mean when he said he's going to come here in essence? Aliens come here in essence. That's why a lot of you tell me, Bruce, the aliens, when they come here, it's like a projection. And I have a lot of respect for that one. I like all theories, but that one makes a lot of sense. And I understand what you guys mean when you say that. Because often you ask, thanks again, Gate Smasher. Often you guys say, is it a projection or are they actually coming into this world? I believe some are coming into this world, but I believe that it could be that there's a projection. Those black guys, yes, the black figures that I saw, I would have preferred seeing just black guys, trust me. Those black figures that came into the house could have been a projection, right? Like, I mean, no, I didn't try to grab them at all. I was overwhelmed by them all going to me. Guys, it was literally like a creepy movie where they don't do anything. Like, what's more scary? A guy going to get you, or a guy going, oh, he's approaching towards you. You're like, what the hell? And they're approaching. And then when they were there, then they turned, guys, like a ship. Okay. They're standing up. They started coming towards me like this. And then to look down, instead of going like this, they turned down where that was creepy. It was really creepy, guys. I get chills thinking about it. But it's exciting. You know what that problem is that I have? You know those speed junkies or power trip junkies where they like parachuting out of airplanes or bungee jumping or surfing in the oceans with sharks. These people that live on the edge. Well, and why am I talking about that? I don't remember. My brain has been detransmissioned off. I'm like a car, me. And it goes out, I go out. Good night, Christopher Rollins. I'm going to get off to you guys because I want to get a video up for you. I will be working all evening. I'll be bed around 3 or 4 this morning. After I get the video up for you all, there won't be any views. So when you get up tomorrow morning, please take a look at it. I promise to get some interesting things. I have some interesting theories about. Actually, I'm going to talk about some of the facts of NASA. First of all, admitting in 2020 that there was water changing places on the surface near Clavius crater. Then we're talking about where they're going to land. Let me predict that if NASA goes to the moon, and they will, let's say, if they do, they should go around Clavius crater or Sinus Iridum or Mare Serenitatis. Bruce, you're naming the whole surface. No, but those particular places, and you know why? Because China actually went to those areas. Like, if you look at the Apollo landings, not everybody knows that, but if you look at all the spots, go on a page where they show where the Apollo landings are. It's all like in a circle. They're all really together around Mare Serenitatis, Mare Imbrium, Apollo 12, and all these other areas. I could be wrong about the is 15 or 12. Yeah, 12. And where they landed, 17 right on the edge of Mare Serenitatis. So if they go back to the moon, and they actually go back, I hope to God that they go on Earth's side, obviously, so that we can see them. At the beginning, guys, the landing spot, the choices were the North Pole or the South Pole. If they go to the South Pole or the Aitken Basin, we're not going to see them because it's on the other side of the bloody moon. But we would see them going and coming and arriving. Say to yourself, the minute NASA says they're going to be on the moon, I believe we're going to see hundreds of launches. Several countries, before I get off, are joining in the space race. They want to join in. Somebody in Europe, in the military, is now trying to bring Europe into these projects. Obviously, the Artemis project, which is to bring back astronauts to the moon yet again, they say, every time. Even though Buzz Aldrin and even Neil, no, not Neil Young, must have been thinking of the liar, Neil Armstrong, right? Which is depicted Neil A in the NASA black and white book with his picture of the astronaut. Neil A with a capital A is alien backwards, which a lot of you have even mentioned that to me over the years. I thought that was really funny. I don't know if you guys are into patterns, but I won't get into that too much. I notice things that have nothing to do, I'll leave you on this, have nothing to do with anything. They're coincidence and patterns that that fascinate me. How I believe that there's a way of predicting the future by looking at dates, by using certain names of towns and a certain mathematical procedure to be able to find out these things. And I have these weird little things that come up, like God bless their souls, and my heart goes up to all the families with what happened in Texas at the Robb Elementary School. But if you look at that, Robb Elementary is R-E, school. Robb Elementary School is R-E-S. And this is how I go up upon my, for the fun of it, much like a trivial quiz, or maybe you're playing, bad example, Beat the Devil with the cards. We call it Beat the Devil. There's another word for it. I don't remember. But anyways, solitaire, you know, R, and then E, and then S for school, R-E-S. Where's the school? In Texas. R-E-S-T, rest. And anyways, I was able to come up to the rest in peace by using everything in one news report that they said, by using the first letter of each titled post that spelt out rest in peace. I see those patterns. And when I see them, I can't help wonder if they're deliberately installed in them. You know, my dad, who passed away, my mom showed me his race car. He had a Dodge Dart Swinger with the lion on the side, a real Dodge Dart Swinger, which was worth probably $60,000 to $100,000 today. Would have loved to have had it. Nice, beautiful car. And the date on the license plate of that car was in the end of the 60s, beginning of the 70s. The date that my dad died is the date when you turn the picture of the car upside down. The date that's on the plate is the exact date that he died. Those are coincidences or patterns. I spoke about that to my mom. Sometimes the coincidences are incredible. And even though it has nothing to do with maybe anything, I find that it's a way of predicting certain things. When I see John F. Kennedy, the first thing I saw when I saw that guy's name, and somebody told me he died. He died? How did he die? Well, he was assassinated. He was assassinated. What's his name? Robert R. F. RF. I could talk about RF too, but it doesn't matter. I'm going off on other patterns. But his family name is Kenny Die. It's very, very odd. And if you say it, and why do I say die when it's Kennedy? Well, because there's a Y. And that's the only way I ever say I is if there's the Y there. I've done things like this with Albert Einstein's. And I'm just showing you examples now. I've done some examples that are pretty scary sometimes when things happen. Like when I saw that at the elementary school and it spelt out rest, got a little tear in my eyes. That's morbid, a little creepy, but we do live in a matrix. And if you open your eyes and observe things, I want you all to do a test for me this week. It's not going to take any of your time, and you're going to have a pleasure doing it. I want you, when you go somewhere, a restaurant, a client's house, and neighbors, because right now there's people here that are going to their clients tomorrow morning. I know it. And when you get to your client's house, walk into the house or your grandmother's or your mother's house, even if it's your mother's house, I want you to notice, without telling her, she's going to think you're nuts, notice, or prying, notice every single little detail in the house. Remember the weather outside. Remember what you were wearing when you went up the steps of that person's house. Remember the scent in the house. Look for cracks on the walls. Look for dirtiness. Look for, not your mom's, at a client. I'm telling you to analyze the littlest minute details. Some people will walk into a room and say, holy crap, this guy is clean, because the walls are all nice and clean. And some other person will walk into the room and say, holy shit, this guy's a pig, because he notices all the spots. Some people have a better capability of noticing things apparently quickly, and some people don't. You know those books where you look at the books and you have to put your eye bloody crooked to be able to see the image? There's an image that appears. It's like a book full of pixels, and you go, there's nothing there. And then you go, oh my God, I see, it's a horse. And every time you look at it, you see the horse, because your eyes adapted to it. It's the same thing with the surface of the moon. When you see where the structures are and you understand, the difference, anyway, I'll get going there. I'm hearing some noise outside. I want to go see what's going on. Video gamer, let's pop a few Zans, my man. Are you kidding me? No, I ain't gonna do any Zans with you, brother. But you can go right ahead. You got to be careful with those, my friends. You got to be careful, man. They're dangerous. I shouldn't have admitted that I knew he was talking about Xanax or something, but I'm pretty sure it's the same drugs as some of the weirdos that were around here were using. Well said, Lizzie. Crazy stuff, guys. And I hope you guys don't think that I'm a nut. I'm not. I'm very, very sane. I got all my head. But I've had some encounters that defy reality. And all I'm going to tell you guys, yes, chastity belts. Yeah, Cheryl. All I'm going to tell you guys, yes, is that there is something on the other side. And if you have a family member that passed away, I I promise you that there's a way of receiving energy and messages from that person, but it doesn't mean it's the person maybe that you knew here on Earth. I think we have different phases as we evolve. And here's a chilling one. Who says that the alien encounters that we encounter in our lives, some of us, are not just family members that have evolved and are actually capable of coming back, not necessarily in time, but from another dimension? Space travel and time travel, to me, makes more sense traveling in the present, like going to Mars from here and arriving there in the present, and not going back to Mars and when there were dinosaurs or whatever, which I'm sure there wasn't. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of darkness. A lot of darkness. Hey, Jenny, 666 JBF. I used to call myself Brucey 666 because I was trying to expose the devil. I killed him though. But back in the days, and not back in the days, months ago, remember Darla and everyone? People were coming to my channel. Oh, Brucey 666. One of the trolls. Bruce is the devil. Bruce is the devil. No, not at all. Not at all. I can be a little devil sometimes, but I'm not a devil. Not at all. Hey, the house. Feedback, Fred, everyone, you guys. Julie, Gate Smasher, Floyd, everybody. Thank you, guys, for everything. Yeah, listen, Beth. From what I heard, Beth, I took virgin notes. I'm losing it. What took notes? I take the weirdest notes, eh? What I'm worried about is if I die before my mother and everything, and she comes and she sees all these little things that I scratched on paper, all these things and curses that I was trying to look up to see what these things were. She's gonna think I'm a devil. But anyways, what was I talking about? What did she ask? Yeah, the 144. I heard we had to be like literally have spent all our lives without having any sex. I think, I'm not sure. That was the first one, Beth. So right off the bat, I'm screwed. You know what the worst of it is? I've been doing this for my 6th year. I had one encounter with the bank lady. That was it. Went out for a couple of drinks, hit it off, spent an evening, and that was it. That was a long time ago. So in a way, I'm doing like priests are doing. I am sacrificing myself. You know, you realize that, guys. Sacrificing from having sex to make videos for my amazing community. That, and because I have no time to look for a girlfriend. But you don't need one if you don't feel unloved, because that's what people do. They get girlfriends because people are going to wonder why you're alone. Do what you want in life. I'm going to have a beautiful woman, and it's going to happen, and we're going to be in our older years when I meet her. It's what I feel, because I'm not right now. I'm on a hell of a journey, and if the lockdowns could stop, I want to bring you guys. Well, I'd like to go around the world, maybe not around the world, but I want to bring you guys in other countries, in areas. We got to do this, guys. If you don't do what you want to do in life, I'm talking to you, Bruce. If you don't do in life what you want to do, no one's going to do it for you. No one's going to do it for you. It's a wish for me to go to Nevada, and I'm waiting for someone to come pick me up and bring me there. It's not going to happen. If you want to go somewhere, you do it, right? But again, I'm waiting for lockdowns to totally quit off. Ladies and gents, I spent a long time with you. Thank you for being so patient. I love you all so very much. Guys and gals, I can't thank you all enough for the incredible support you give this channel. And again, I talked a little bit too much tonight, but I'm going to work on that next video for you all right now. And I'll be getting that up late this evening or in the middle of the night, because it takes like 2 hours to upload videos. And I'll be working on that. If there's no UFOs outside in the sky. Guys, thank you very, very much for always coming back to my channel when you all can. You guys are like family. Thanks again. Talk to you all very soon. Bye bye for now. Sorry about the little problems this evening.